Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of Paradigm Shift in Educational Comedy. I'm Dave Kelso, and we are here with Richard Hamilton as well. Say hello.
Hello.
Just evidence that he's here, seeing as we're in screen share mode. You can't actually see him. But anyway, we are going to discuss the similarities, but mostly the fundamental differences between Facebook tagging, and, also things like Twitter, et cetera, same sort of category. That style of tagging and how it is different than TSU or SU tagging, and the differences I really think are good things. Okay, now we see the PSEC Facebook page loaded up here, and obviously, as we are all used to, when we tag in Facebook, obviously, let's see, I'm gonna switch this over to Dave Kelso, so it'll let me kind of tag. I'm not gonna save this, I'm gonna delete it, but when we're tagging, we type in the name, David Brian Kelso there, that's me, and then we could type in Richard Hamilton, and it does that whole thing. And then if you want to put hashtags, like hashtags, seeing as we're talking about Korea here, Kim Jong Un nuclear poop, he fucks goats with ISIS and Dennis Rodman. Okay, so you see how the tagging works on here, and typically when it comes to things like Facebook and the way it tags, it'll, like, when you tag someone, it'll automatically post things onto their main profile wall, or put things in their pictures albums and crap like that. And if you tag people excessively, and it matters not if they actually legitimately are actually in a bunch of pictures. If you tag people too much in too short a period of a time, people on Facebook tend to get a little pissy about that. Some of them are polite about it, others of them not so polite about it. And then, of course, if you excessively hashtag, it might just seem as if you're, like, desperate for attention or something, like, oh my god, I'm so cool, look, I hashtag love, hashtag you, hashtag fun, hashtag woo-wee, and then kind of looking like you've been reduced to the age of 12. So we understand how that goes on Facebook, and in TSU, or SU as it's called, it's a very, very, very different universe. For personal tags, if you're going to tag someone, you hit the @ sign, and then you start typing in their info, and it comes up. So let's say I wanted to do Dave Kelso at PSEC. Oh, whoops, I can't do that in the title. I have to do that in the, yeah. Dave. Okay, see, and now it's starting to to pull up the results and everything. Kelso. Okay, so I guess it's not going to pull me up that way. So PARADIGM. There we go. See, Paradigm Shift Doc for you. Click on that. Boom.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with your screen, but like where the boxes are supposed to be, there's like black sensor bars across them. I don't know how to describe it.
Really?
Yeah. It's just on the box where the comments would be, anything with text.
That's just a part of the way this this desktop theme goes.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, it looks clearer for me than it does for you.
It's a Firefox theme, gotcha.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Okay.
And I'm not quite sure how to change that aspect of it, even if there is a way. But it's not completely unbearable or anything, so I just let it slide.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not a censor bar. It's just it's part of the theme.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, when you tag people in TSU and you put an at sign before it, so it's not like you're just typing anything and it's like, oh, I'm going to assume you're trying to tag something, and then that annoying bullshit pops up and all that. Nothing like that. You actually have to put just a tiny bit of effort into tagging somebody on there, which is a good thing, instead of the system just assuming that everything is tagging somebody, and God, that gets freaking annoying. When you tag people, you can only have 10 tags per post, and obviously 10 tags per comment line. Same goes with the hashtags. When you tag somebody, it comes up in their notifications that they've been tagged, and on here, hashtags. The more hashtags, the merrier, because people on here have a very different view of hashtags. It not only helps to separate content out and to clarify things, and people actually do go through the hashtag list, and it's actually an extremely helpful thing to be using. People that go around tagging on TSU are actually taken to be the more serious ones. If you're doing a lot of tagging, then you're perceived as, oh, okay, they're really serious about TSU. They're professional. They're trying to do their best to share content and to spread other people's content around, and they are being very supportive of the community and so on. So the quote-unquote excessive tagging idea is actually looked on as a very good thing on TSU, because it is one of the most useful tools on TSU, whereas on things like Facebook, it can be somewhat of a lame annoyance. When you tag individuals using the @ sign, not only does it not do all the previously mentioned Facebookishly annoying things, and not only does it alert the person that they've been tagged into a post, but if you see the list here, it's also kind of the people you tag, it's kind of advertising them. And on TSU, again, because TSU or SU is a very different universe from Facebook, people are always looking for new people to add and follow. So when people see tags, it's not like, tags, so what? It's like, ooh, more people. Let's see what that's about. Let's open that in a new tag. Let's see if they are actually worth following. And then they look through and like, ooh, this person's got a lot of friends and followers, and they posted 13 hours ago, so they're apparently at least somewhat active, and ooh, yeah, and oh, they got Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and oh, they're at, so it's like people see these tags in a very different way. It serves as not only the person you tagged, it brings attention to the post, but other people that are coming across the post, it brings attention to their account, and then they do what I just did, like, ooh, let's see if they're worth watching. So when it comes to tagging, whether it's a hashtag or tagging a person, it is known as spreading the TSU love or sharing the TSU love. It is showing that you deem that person's post to be worthy of tagging. It shows that you deem that person worthy of tagging in the first place. And you will literally get your actual inbox filled up with thank yous, your message inbox. There are a lot of people that when you tag them excessively, they will go out of their way to thank you and go, dude, thanks for all the TSU love. I really appreciate being mentioned, and et cetera, et cetera, because TSU is a very different universe than Facebook. Now, to top things off, I want to give 2 valid, proper usage forms for the tagging, because again, it's about spreading the love. So usually gestures of appreciation and thankfulness are the highest form of tagging, and usually grab people's attention real fast, and it really helps to increase demographic in a genuine way. As you see a post here from Kristen Meyer in the PSEC Media Public Channel. Yes, PSEC's got a TSU channel now. Wahoo. Kindness contest. Kindness is its own reward, so everyone wins. So, okay, this is a little bit of a kindness meme here. We're all used to memes floating around, nothing new under the sun. Today's kindness target is RacerGirl5454, and there's her picture there. Simply click like on all of her posts until you get tired of doing it. Have your own kindness contest. It's easy. Pick a target, post, and go nuts. Everyone wins, and kindness is fun. Now, we see the reactions to this. Obviously, it's gotten 47 likes. It'll have 48 once I do that. And 3 shares, which that's going to be 4 shares. Anyway, 67 comments. Let's look at the comments. What a cool idea. Lots of love shown to RacerGirl5454. Then, we have all the tagging of all sorts of different people to not only bring their attention to the post, but also to simultaneously advertise their existence so that other people who see it will get curious and, check out the profiles. Cassandra Wonder Woman, I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name. Her response, cute idea. So, you could see, again, people very much favor these sorts of things. Debbie Outlaw, what a sweet idea. Again, another name I'm not going to try to fucking pronounce. I'll check her out. McFresh Anonymous, he's an awesome guy. Everybody needs to just give him all the TSU love in the world. He really needs it more than most. Go friend and follow him. Anyway, McFresh Anonymous, I did 160 if that helps out. So, yeah, it's like he actually clicked like on 160 of her things. Dolphins, just like, oh, okay. So obviously there's no tone of voice in text. So that's just like, oh, okay, cool. Just acknowledgement. Walter Kelso put in some tags. Again, tagging is, what we're explaining. Timothy Strickland, sweet and adorable. Claudia Ginsburg, wow, you know a lot of kind peeps. Thanks for including me. Gonna think on it, but here's a start. And then boom, what do people start doing? Even more tagging. Because like I've said, tagging is a whole different universe. Tagging encourages people to tag, encourages more people to tag. Here's a few more tags. Somebody else who got tagged, then tagged a couple of more people. Wow, how amazingly clever is this? Giving love to everyone is supposed to happen daily anyway. So of course I'm going to be down for this. Thanks, your best, etc. Someone else responding here. I know you do this daily, Wayne, and you and Sis, Kathy, etc., and so many others on here. Great smile. Great smile, isn't like commenting on the picture, not the meme. Okay, but yeah, as you can see, this kind of perpetuates. And that expands demographic because people on TSU aren't assholes. At least not most of them anyway. So now we're going to move over to a non-PSEC example. Obviously, Kristen is a part of the PSEC crew. Here's someone that we don't know. Just someone on TSU, the Adventures of Little Duke, they call themselves. I have no idea who this is. Don't know them. Never talked to them or anything. But Team Awesome. We are doing awesome things in TSU. Who are some of the people that are a part of your Team Awesome? And Team Awesome is tagged. Tag them and let them know how awesome they are. And you see all the starting tags in here. Holly, Pardue Lady of Charity, tagged a bunch more people. More tags, more tags. As you can see, the tags are just kind of continuing to perpetuate through. Because again, on TSU, or SU, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it, tags are a good thing. Tags are like, hey, you're a serious user. You're trying to direct content and traffic. You're trying to spread content. You're being kind. You're being giving. You're providing a service. You're not just on here to try to sell Kim Jong's tainted Viagra out of North Korea, nuclear reactor flavor, that you're here for legitimate reasons and you're trying to be the change you want to create in the world. And another person who just loves tagging the shit out of everybody, a very respectable person, one of the, shall we say, more heavy hitters on TSU, who's very respectable. That would be Sitting Bull, and he runs a TSU channel called Activism, or Activism Plus rather. Public group, 91 members. Give it a moment. Let's just check out his group right quick. Obviously, I'm following that group. I want to try to find some of his posts in here, especially. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different people that post in this group, but I want to try to find his post specifically because he is usually just like tagging the shit out of everything. There's a fuck ton of posters in here. If I can't quickly come onto one of his, then I will just go direct to his profile because I just want to kind of point him out as a prime example. Okay, lots and lots and lots of activity here. So here comes Sitting Bull. Bam. Just going to go straight to his profile. And another cool thing about TSU is when you post to a group, it also makes a copy of it onto your profile, which also helps spread demographic and is pretty awesome. As you can see here, Sitting Bull posted in communities. Now, he doesn't excessively tag in every single post under the sun, but there are definitely some posts where he just completely goes nuts. Okay, here's at least other people going nuts. Sean Karen, I should be following him and friended and all that stuff. Yep. Sean Karen does an internet radio show thing on a bunch of different topics. I'm kind of on the fence as far as the whole Nibiru topic. Can't say anything for or against it really, but he talks about more things than that, obviously. Whole variety of topics, and you could see this very professional radio show guy is tagging like a motherfucker. So he's not desperate or unprofessional. He's actually quite professional and using TSU tags in exactly the way that they are meant to be used. Okay, just trying to find one from Sitting Bull that's got excessive tagging. Okay, he might be taking a little bit of a tagging break here, but at the very least, we're finding examples of all sorts of, heavy-hitting professional TSU people. Warriors of the Rainbow, he's got a big profile on here. Social media scientist, he's got a big profile on there. Some of the other heavy hitters, such as Dexter Runa or Kevin Hinkle, people like that, they make productively excessive use of tags. And unlike on Fascism Book, tagging is, of course, a very useful, very productive. Okay, here we go. Here's Sitting Bull putting in a bunch of tags here. Okay. He is, these people are using these things very productively, very professionally, unlike Fascism Book, where Fascism Book is just an annoying clusterfuck of shit. Sue actually makes very good productive use of both user tags and hashtags. And the more you tag on TSU, it does not make you look desperate and stupid like it might on Facebook. It makes you look serious and dedicated and professional and desirable, and people add you as a friend and they click the fucking follow button. That is what happens. That is the way TSU works. I know you might be suffering a little bit of cognitive dissonance if you're so used to the Facebook way that this might be hard for you to fathom, but TSU is a whole other universe of thought. it is what it is, and you can't really directly compare these things from TSU to Facebook any more than you could directly compare a chicken to an elephant. I'm done with that rant. Any thoughts that you have on this, Rich? I'm sure you have at least a couple.
Well, I think a lot of people are unfortunately used to the childish system that Facebook, you know, um, advocates. On Facebook, there's generally a lot more drama, generally more dramatic, inflammatory. People tend to use Facebook, as we're on TSU. There's a lot more respect, sensibility. People go along to get along, and if you have somebody who blocks you or doesn't like you for whatever reason, there's no drama about it. It's just they block you, they move on. There's no conflict. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no negative fallout that results from that. As where if you're on Facebook, sometimes you get into nasty flame wars in comments sections, or people throw profanities at each other, threaten each other, etc., so on and so forth. And it really just kind of basically winds down to, just look at who controls each. I mean, you have Sebastian Subcheck, who owns TSU, and he's a guy with integrity. He's a guy who is no nonsense, who's, relaxed and easygoing and likes to friend anybody and everybody that, he can, within means.
Well, not friend, but follow. He doesn't actually.
Or follow or whatever the hell he wants to do. Obviously, he's not going to friend everybody because he's.
Yeah, I mean, he's even following me. I mean, he's not one of these stuck-up types like, "Oh, I'm only going to follow."
He's not. He's not a Mark Zuckerberg who only follows, upper echelon sort of people. He's not one of those types. He's not an arrogant, establishment cocksucker, as it were. He's a guy with integrity who knows what he's doing, who stands by what he's doing, and isn't afraid to be himself. And you can see that reflected in the TSU setup, the layout, the community. He's engaged. He's interested. He's there for the user. As where if you go on Facebook, you see Zuckerberg, and he's all full of himself and all about himself.
Sitting on high like a king.
Yeah, he sits on his pedestal. He sits on his pedestal and he looks down at everybody and treats them like shit. Yeah. And that's why those two things are kind of worlds apart. So when you tag somebody in TSU, it's a good thing. If you tag somebody in Facebook, oh my God, you arrogant evil asshole, you're just full of shit. Blah 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 blah.
You're desperate. You look desperate. You're tagging.
You're desperate. You're nobody. Blah 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 blah. It's two different dichotomies, and unfortunately, most people are more used to the latter than the former. And
TSU isn't a dichotomy at all. Just to correct you there.
Paradigm, whatever you want to call it. Different paradigm.
Facebook is a dichotomy with a capital D as in Zuckerberg dickhead. But yeah, TSU is definitely not a dichotomy at all.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, TSU is the new paradigm. Facebook's the old dichotomy, and people tend to intermix the two and confuse it.
Yeah. So people who are too used to Facebook and are addicted to that and are fully stuck in that misery paradigm, they don't last on TSU that long. I mean, people will just abandon their accounts, or they'll get blocked or banned for being too big of pricks, or whatever the case may be, for whatever the reason that they're incompatible. But people who are so stuck in the old misery paradigm and are completely unwilling to shift and unwilling to see that it's actually possible to coexist in a place where most people are actually nice and respectful to most other people. That causes them so much dizzying cognitive dissonance, they can't see that existing. They just get completely bounced out of TSU in one way or another. They just are not compatible, and they just end up dropping. And my dad is calling me. Interesting. Hold on a second. Hey Dan, I'm actually kind of live on a hangout right now, but I'm about to wrap it. I'm about to wrap it up. What's up? What's up? Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. Not a problem. Have fun. Yeah, he's in a cranky mood tonight. Sorry about that, guys. But I'm off the line with him. Anyway, anything else to add before we wrap up, Rich? Because I'm pretty much.
I think I've said everything I needed to say, and what I said was pretty much the truth of the matter. Both are based on different paradigms. One is a dichotomy. The other is a new paradigm idea, and that's just kind of how it is. A lot of people are used to the Facebook paradigm of things, and accepting something new as a new reality can be often hard.
Even if it's a much more pleasant reality,
Even
if
if
you're
it's a much more pleasant reality and really not that hard to adapt to, people still have this
if you when
justification and ego driven paradigm that misery is the only real reality. So they try to take the positive, twist it to the negative, and you get negative fallout feedback. I
if you're
can't tell you how many people who have created TSU accounts and then just don't use them. They create them and then they do nothing with them because it's
well,
just too
thank
much
God there's a
cognitive
lot more
dissonance.
people who do use them, as is evident by the massive activity on here.
Hmm. But there's still that number of people that get on there and go, "Oh, well, I'll try it," and then they're like, "No," you know.
I'd probably, if I had to guess, I'd probably say about 25% of all existing TSU accounts are dropouts, are dead. That either people will come back to them once they, shift their paradigm, or they're just not coming back to them. So I'd say about
Hmm.
25% of TSU accounts are rest in peace.
Hmm.
So there was something like they hit over 5 million users. So you figure something like 25% of that 5 million is actually dead accounts. I mean, that still leaves a damn lot of people that it's not dead accounts, but just the point is that this is such a much more of a productive paradigm that people who are, used to misery and they like feeling justified about everything, it completely contradicts their belief systems about life. I mean, I'm sure any of us who have dealt with control freaks, whether that's been parents or step parents or friends or ex-boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, when you say anything that contradicts their belief, even if it's a good thing, oh, they rage, they get so mad. It's almost like you're blaspheming against God. How dare you defy one of my laws that I have set forth for the universe? It's just like, oh my fucking God, really? But and it's just usually over the stupidest little things. And so this is one of those extremely offensive contradictions to that paradigm. The idea that not only can people get along and exchange, genuine kindness on here, but that they can actually make money doing it because of TSU's fair share with the revenue. You get 90% lion's share of that. Like the whole idea of that is literally offensive, outright enragingly offensive to the paradigm of a control freak, because it basically tells them, hey, buddy, all these various things that you believe about reality, you're fucking wrong. That's what it tells them. You're fucking wrong. And when you tell a control freak they're wrong, and a control freak feels that they need to be right about everything, well, any of us who've ever dealt with control freaks, we know how that conversation goes. Usually with them screaming a lot.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that we've said all we need to say about this. If anybody else has any questions about it or comments or whatever, you could hit us up on TSU, or leave a comment on whatever TSU post that this video is posted to, or Facebook post that this video is posted to, or the YouTube post itself, wherever on YouTube and so on. Leave comments, we'll get around to them, and so on. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. What do you think?
I think that pretty much covers the entire spectrum.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. We hope that you have found this video to be informative, entertaining, and otherwise helpful. Peace out. Have a good day, night, whatever it is in your part of the world, and catch you later.